friends, it's Sarah from Sweet Scents from the Dollhouse. If you're new to my channel, welcome, subscribe and hang out with us. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, my fellow Waxies, thank you so much for hanging out. I apologize if there's like a bunch of noise or thumping coming from out on the other side of this wall. Grace is practicing for her dance recital, and she does like modern like hip-hop style dancing, so it's thump, thump, thump. Hopefully, I think she's taking a break and this video won't take long. So today I am pre-recording some of my scent scores. I have been plugging through this catalog, covering so many scents. And I'm really, at the end of this, I want to pick my top 5 from this catalog. At first, I thought I was going to do top 3 new releases. But I don't know, because a lot of these are new to me. This was my first year being a Scentsy consultant. I can't limit it to 3. So I think I'm going to do top 5 out of this catalog. But the more I warm, the harder it gets to pick just 5. And to be perfectly honest, it's the gross ones that I tend to like the most. That sounds terrible. They're not gross, but by the scent notes, these are things that, had I not had testers, I probably would have never ordered. And then it makes me wonder, like, I wonder if customers are in the same predicament. Like, you guys don't order something because you've never smelt it before, but how do you know that you're not missing some phenomenal scents? Like, I know I would be missing a bunch of scents based on the scent notes. So I highly recommend reach out to your local Scentsy consultant. Just say, hey, I want to snip and sift. Snip? No. Sift. Sniff and sip. There we go. Sorry. My brain is working like on half speed today. So just make a date with your local Scentsy consultant. Go to local coffee shop, whatever it is, and smell her testers. And then that way you know that you're not missing out on a bunch of amazing scents. And what better month to do it than in February when everything will be 10% off. So reach out to your local Scentsy consultants and get after those testers. So today I am covering Scentsy's Very Snowy Spruce. Not only was it on page 16 in the fall and winter section in the Canadian catalog, we also got Very Snowy Spruce in holiday bricks this year. So if you are a big fan of tree scents, this was probably your jam. The scent notes say, breathe in fresh forest air, balsam, spruce, and cider branches embrace the warmth of amber and woody pine cones. This rocked my socks. Typically, I love earthy, but I'm not really a big fan of tree scents. More recently, I hauled some Better Home & Gardens because I was watching some like mainstream YouTube reviews of all of this amazing Walmart wax that I couldn't get. And people were raving about Better Home & Gardens, what is it, Fresh Cut Fraser? And essentially that's what it is. It's like Better Home & Gardens version of Very Snowy Spruce. And I'm like, people are just crazy about tree scents. But it's not that they were just warming the tree scent. They were adding Better Home & Gardens Vanilla Cookie Crunch. And when you blend those two scents together, it makes a Yankee Candle dupe-ish of, what is that called? Christmas Wish. So it's a tree/cookie scent. And right off the bat, I'm like, ew! Trees and cookies? What? Because everyone and their brother was raving about it. I'm like, I have to try it. Why not? For $2. Like, it's super cheap. So that's where I started. I started by mixing those two. I did scent scores for Very Snowy Spruce, and then I mixed Very Snowy Spruce with Scentsy's Sugar Cookie. It was so good. the waxies on YouTube were right. It is phenomenal. And I personally, I'm not even saying this because I'm biased with Scentsy. I like Scentsy's Very Snowy Spruce better than Better Home & Gardens. Very Snowy Spruce isn't as harsh of a tree scent as what you get in that Fresh Cut Fraser. You have to really be down with harsh tree scents to get down with that on its own, which I am not. I believe it's the amber note in Very Snowy Spruce that kind of mellows it out a bit. I'm a big fan of amber. It's warm, it's smooth, it's tolerable. It's still very much a tree scent, though. Don't get me wrong. It's still a raging tree scent, but I found it a lot smoother. So I got a steady 12 to 14 foot throw for the first 4.5 hours, and then it slowly petered off like most scents do, but in total it lasted 8 hours. 1 cube and a large space, 8 hours. I think that's pretty good. Personally, I wouldn't warm Very Snowy Spruce on its own. I'm sure you could probably Google or Pinterest about 100 different recipes to mix tree scents with, but I really enjoyed Very Snowy Spruce mixed with Scentsy's Sugar Cookie. So if you happen to have a bar or even splurged and bought a brick this season and you're not quite sure what to do with all that tree scent, try blending it with something. Or always put it away for next year because it's such a classic Christmas scent. And I know a lot of my customers who have artificial trees are all the rave about Very Snowy Spruce because you can melt it at Christmas time and kind of get the vibe of having a real tree without the mess. So stay tuned because I have a ton more scent scores coming up. What else do I have? I think I have the last 2 new releases, Holly Berry Cinnamon Hug in a Mug. I have covered pretty much everything else. And then I have 4 out of the holiday section and 2 of the classics coming up next week. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, smash the bell above for future content notifications. Stay tuned. I'm bringing you more scent scores. Bye for now.